everybody, welcome to Fishing with Brock Official. Today we are fishing in the Atlantic Ocean. I believe this is the Atlantic Ocean, right?
It is.
Okay, good. With Florida Adventure Outfitters. Today we're going fishing for tarpon and some other fish. We don't even know much of the other fish. I forget. Normally, the only things I would expect to catch would be lake trout, pike, walleye, bass, muskie, whitefish, and here you have stuff like red snapper, marlin, kingfish, and thousands of other species. Can't wait to see what we pull out of the water. In case you were wondering where we were fishing, here's a Google Maps video. Pretty neat.
Number one tip for fishing. Fishing is all about science and homework. All about science class and homework. It's about science because you need to be paying attention to causes and effects to the things you're using while fishing. And it's about homework because if you don't remember the good days and the bad days and good spots and bad spots that you were at before, then you're gonna have a real hard time finding the fish. So you do your homework and you pay attention in science, you can do better at fishing.
See, homework is important.
Not in math class. We're gonna feed tarpon. We're buying shrimp to feed the tarpon.
Yes.
So here we are at 15th Street Fisheries, and we're literally feeding CREVALLE, I think that's how you say it, giant tarpon, not your average.
So you guys look at the base of the tail, it's very thick. It has a super thick bone, we'll call it its spine, is very large. So the muscle structure around that is unbelievable, and it fights super hard. Believe it or not, one of these big jacks will pretty much fight harder than a large tarpon. This fish is a lot like a tuna fish, built like a tuna fish too. You see those side fins? This is basically what we would call an inshore tuna. He's built just like it. We'll go inside in a second and get a little bag of shrimp, and once we start throwing shrimp, the tarpon will show up. See the tarpon making eye connection with me because he thinks I have a piece of bait. Watch, he's gonna come right into me. He's looking directly at me. He's already made eye contact. See right here? See him? He thought I dropped it, and you saw him open his mouth. He's not gonna hit like another fish. This other fish at CREVALLE is gonna take it and run. The tarpon's not gonna do that. The tarpon's gonna open his mouth and flex his gills and inhale it. It's actually gonna suck it into his mouth, and that's how he gets it. This fish is on the endangered species list. This fish is the hardest fish to catch in existence. His mouth is made out of 20 grit sandpaper. What he does is jump and shake vigorously so that he can snap that line. He can snap 40-pound fluoro in a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds to get on the line.
Here's what a tarpon looks eating. See the shrimp? Now you can see the shrimp. Okay, shrimp. It's gonna die as soon as it touches the water. Hello, anybody want shrimp? Going once, going twice. Sold to the tarpon right there. This one going once, going twice. It's going sold. I'm an auctioneer now.
So we're in the yachting capital in North America. There's nowhere in North America with more yachts than right here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And the reason for that is we're only 43 miles away from Bimini, Bahamas. This yacht right here to our left-hand side is going to be the biggest in Fort Lauderdale currently. Just under 400 feet long, just under $1 billion to build. Yes, that's a B.
The name of this boat right here is the LAUDERDALE. Look at the people behind us. They're so lucky to live here. And over there is a 7-mile long beach.
So, we're driving out this way. This continuous reef line right here, that's our last reef line. That's where we'll be fishing later on today. As you can see for colors, as these colors start changing, that's representation of depth. So right after this reef line right here, that reef line will be The top of the reef will be at about 60 as we fall off the bottom. It'll be about 85, 90. But then it's just going to start going down, going down, going down. You'll realize quickly why we have electric reels.
Yeah.
When you have to reel it up from 300.
It's a long fight.
Yep. Or let's say you dropped your bait down and they robbed all your baits. Now you're reeling it up for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That really hurts.
How long have you been doing this for?
6.5 years.
Like, does that go for charters or just fishing in the ocean?
No, charters. I've been fishing in the ocean since I was a little kid. I grew up here. I grew up fishing here. So, really always fishing.
So what are we putting on the hook?
Squid.
We're
Glowing
putting
eyes.
calamari grade squid to be specific. I don't cheap out on bait because I want the line to be directly up and down. So I just kicked it in a little reverse. You can see it's a little bit back this way, so I could kick it in a little more reverse, but I'm not too worried about it because it's not way over there. We call that scoped out. One way or the other, that's called scoping. We don't want the line to scope, and the reason being is because if it scopes out, it can get hung on the bottom. If it gets hung on the bottom, I just lost $80. Between the hooks that are on there, the weight, and the tip setup, it's about $80 worth of gear. So we try our best to not get scoped out. So what I did was I dropped it to the floor. I'll show you. Boom. Floor's right there. Okay, I put it back in gear. I bring it 2 reels off the floor, and now I'm hanging right on the floor, right?
Let's hope that rod starts bouncing.
And that's where typically a new person will screw up reeling one off the bottom. They'll stop for just a second. They'll pump just a little bit, and that little bit of change lets that fish flop right off the hook.
There we go.
Something. What do you think that is?
Whatever lives here.
What do you guess?
I don't know. I don't have a guess. Can't make a guess.
I can help you. Fish is called dinner. How do you like my cheesy jokes, Dan?
Oh, I got some cheesy jokes for you.
Good color.
I got fish ones too.
We're sitting next to the cheese ball king right here.
Oh, hey! Something.
It's
Massive porgy.
Wow. That's it.
And honestly, we had more than this fish on the hook on the way up. I watched them come off. The reason I didn't stop is because I knew I still had at least one fish on. And like I said, it's really hard with these things shaking the way they do that they don't come off the hook.
So what was the name of that channel? Do you have the name? Yeah.
WIZKID Outdoors.
WIZKID Outdoors Kid.
WIZ.
We'll have to remember that when we get back. Subscribe.
Subscribe.
I'm deemed by the state, since I'm a charter captain, I have to fish with certain kind of gear. So the gear I fish with is all circle hooks. Not only are they all circle hooks, but they're also all hooks that'll rust out of a fish's mouth within 7 days if they break off in a fish. So I'm not harming any fish by fishing. But this hook allows that fish, if he shakes, he can come off of that sucker pretty easily. So the constant reel is an important part. So blue line porgy, you can see him right there in the sun. You can see his nice little chompers right there in his mouth. The current today's moving so fast where we're at that if you fell in the water, you would not be able to swim back to the boat. It's moving right now probably about 7 miles an hour. It's very new. Not a lot of people anywhere in the world know about a reel like that. That reel's only been out on the market for a couple of years, 4 or 5 years. And even at its price point, you're looking at $4,000 right there. So basically, it's on a 12-volt plug. I have a plug system where this cord goes into a plug that I have on the side of the boat. But you can also have it where you connect it just directly to a 12-volt battery. Then the extension cord supplies the reel with 12-volt. There is another way of the setup where people put a battery, a small lithium battery, directly to the reel and power the reel that way. But I like to always have enough power, so I just run the electric to the side of the boat. 80-pound test on the braid, which is on this reel, and the other is a 100-pound test with the hooks.
Do you use steel at all? Steel leaders?
We'll use
At any
steel
time?
later on when we're king fishing, but a lot of these fish can see the steel, so it hurts you more than it helps you.
Marlin. Minimum size limit 9 inches.
There it is.
Woohoo! There we go.
Wrong species, but we'll still take it.
Eh, it's a fish at least.
Yep. Yellow line snapper, you can see his little chomper teeth in there. And they call him yellow eye or yellow line because he's got that yellow line coming down his back.
We're on again.
She's like, work.
Vermillion.
Wow. So have you ever had it where you're fishing and the fish comes up and then something else eats that fish?
Yes. Sharks, a lot right here. Yes. 13-foot hammerhead, 14-foot gray white, 13-foot thresher shark, tigers, makos. Yes.
So this right here is a Vermillion Snapper. Very delicious. Caught in 300 feet of water, and it has white flaky meat. What are those?
These right here are pilchards, and crazy part, but the reason, Dad, that this bait is so expensive is because they caught these things this summer in Miami, and someone has been keeping them alive in a tank this entire time. But they're a candy cane bait out here on the reef. You'll see how quickly they get hit.
It's just a jigging for walleye.
Only in the ocean.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Red grouper.
This is a red grouper caught with live bait. Put up a really good fight, and just look at those teeth.
What'd you catch it on?
Pilchard. I never ever thought I would be holding a grouper. This is what we're fishing with right here. It's a squid.
Yellowtail snapper, bud. Right here. Another species to the list.
That's 4.
5, but who's keeping count?
Not me. Yellowtail snapper right here. Despite its size, $13 at the grocery store. So that must mean it's really good eating. Look at the tail. Just the colors on this thing. Oh wow. Big old yellowtail.
There's actually a couple different boats right here, but we're gonna fish off the barge. Off of it.
Unnamed barge.
Yeah.
Oh,
There it is.
that's cool.
I think there's some fish down there.
Stacked.
Oh, that's not fish. Look at that. That Ken wasn't feeling it.
Another big porgy.
That's literally looks like a perch. This right here is what we call a lane snapper.
Okay, what are we doing?
Right here is a yellow and blue lined grunt. Pretty sure you can see how he got his name. Using a Carolina rig and a spinning rod and reel. And we used, I think it was squid as well, for bait. Miami special.
Go for it. Chug, 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 chug.
Oh yeah!
Kinda hurts
So we're way closer to shore. 4 feet of water, as you can see. Or 13 feet of water, but whatever. And we're going for tarpon now. So that's pretty much it as far as catching fish goes. We were given a tour of all the canals in Fort Lauderdale, and lots of those canals had tarpon in it that you could see. It was pretty neat because they were hiding in people's backyards where the lights under their decks would shine. And here we are casting a lure into the back of someone's yacht. They saw us from a mile away and kind of chased us away. We are tarpon fishing. As you can see, this is a private dock. We should not be wrapping our ropes around the dock, but whatever. Mike said he caught lots of tarpon there before. Unfortunately, we did not catch my tarpon this trip. We will one day. Apparently, tarpon can weigh up to 300 pounds. I was really hoping to get one of those, but sadly we didn't. But honestly, that's okay. That's why they call it fishing, not catching. My dad did hook into one, but sadly it got away. Goodbye, amazing hotel. Goodbye!
Damn it, show me a push-up.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you like and subscribe.
Push-up?
Do a real push-up, come on!
Do a real one.
Do a man push-up.